Welcome to Clarity and Order, the Carrie Kauffman way. I'm Carrie, and I'm so glad you're here. This is episode 1, and I want to start by sharing a little bit about who I am and why this podcast exists. I'm a professional organizer living and working in the greater Philadelphia area, and I've been doing this work for the past 14 years. I'm the person people call when they need to declutter their attics, garages, closets, and kitchens, and I love doing it. I see people at their best, their worst, and everywhere in between, especially when they raise the white flag and don't know where to start. Over the years, people have often told me I should write a book. But the truth is, I never wanted to create something that might end up just as another piece of clutter, something that you've read once and then feel guilty about letting it go. So instead, I created this podcast, something you can come back to when you need it, listen to it while you're driving or organizing, and share with family or friends without adding anything extra to your home. This podcast is about real life, real spaces, and the clarity that comes from letting go of what no longer serves you. So let's take a breath and let's dive in. Superpowers. We all have them. Sometimes you discover yours at an early age. Other times, it shows up when you least expect it. My superpower? I can see through clutter. Yep, the stuff you've shoved in your basements, your attics, your pantries, and everything in between. I can see what a space is supposed to look like, even when it's buried. My other superpower? Really listening and asking simple questions that end up changing lives. Here are my favorite questions. Do you want it? Do you need it? Do you use it? Can you tell me why you want to keep it? One of my favorite lines from The Notebook is when Noah asks Allie, "What do you want?" It sounds like such a simple question, but for many of us, it's incredibly hard to answer. Life, expectations, and responsibilities get in the way, and we lose touch in what we actually want, especially in our homes. I see this all the time. When we don't ask ourselves these questions, clutter, both physical and emotional, starts to take over. Sometimes it takes a total stranger asking you the same question for you to hear the answer you already know, but you can't say it out loud to yourself. So when you hear the question, "What do you want?" I want you to really pause and ask yourself, do I actually want it? Do you need it? And if you can't clearly tell yourself why you need something, do you really need it taking up space in your home or in your mind? Do you need to keep moving it from one room to another when company comes over? How many times do you need to keep touching it, shifting it, managing it? Sometimes those answers tell us everything we need to know. Do you use it? Bought it once, didn't love it, or have you tried it as a hobby and moved on? If it takes longer than 5 seconds to answer, maybe it's time to sell or donate it to somebody who will actually enjoy it. Can you tell me why you want to keep it? If it's causing you emotional or physical stress, it isn't worth holding on to. And if the only reason why you're keeping it is guilt, it may be time to shift the way you're thinking. When you focus so much on what others think, you end up ignoring how you feel and what matters the most. Kylie Kelsey shared a story on her podcast about her daughter Wyatt and a Christmas gift she got one year, a plastic drum set from Grandpa Ed. On paper, it sounded perfect, except it just had one switch, on and off. And the volume, it was stuck on high. Just after 1 week, the wonderful gift was now retired to the bottom of their built-ins. And Kylie admitted she felt guilty about taking it away from her daughter. I have to applaud her, though. She thought about herself and her home and how much she could actually handle. It's a funny story, but it's a reminder. Just because something is gifted or sentimental doesn't mean it actually belongs in your life. Sometimes clarity means making the tough choices for your own peace. On this podcast, I want you to be open and honest with yourself. None of our lives are perfect, and mine is no exception. Life has taken me in a lot of unexpected directions and turned things upside down more times than I can count. What I've learned is being organized didn't fix everything, but it did help me stay grounded when shit hits the fan. I'm navigating life's up and downs just like you. This podcast isn't about having it all together. It's about finding clarity in the middle of the mess. My story, the short version. Who's Carrie? Well, I've been married to my husband Derek for the past 24 years. The first 5 years were easy. His stuff, my stuff. 2 people, very little clutter. Our home held only what we needed. We were 2 young kids who didn't need much to get by. That was the easy part. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby in the carriage. Congrats, it's twins. Jacob and Shelby. Twins were a handful. And that was just the tipping point. 2 of everything. Cribs, bouncy chairs, high chairs. Let's not forget the cases of wipes, diapers, formula, bottles, and endless laundry. All just to keep 2 tiny humans alive each week. Our tiny house had to be organized so we could function as a family. And when friends and family came over to step in, everything had a place. The news we weren't expecting when our child was 18 months old. Our son Jacob has unique challenges, which made organization essential. Between therapies, hospital visits, and surgeries, staying organized kept life running. Later, we learned he has intellectual disabilities, making structure even more important for our family. In my early 30s, I lost both of my parents and had to clean out their homes. There was so much guilt and stress tied to sorting through their things, wanting to hold on to everything, but knew I couldn't bring it all with me. I'm sure I threw away things I shouldn't have, but when you're grieving on a tight timeline and without guidance from the people who mattered the most, everything becomes overwhelming. So decisions got made fast, and sometimes everything goes. I can relate to my clients who've lost parents and the inner stress they carry because I've carried it myself. The day all of our lives changed, September 14th, 2018, it was our 16th wedding anniversary. I was at work with a client when I got the call from my husband to come to the hospital. This time, it was for him. He had a type AB aortic dissection. His aorta had torn from top to bottom. My kids had just started 6th grade, and it was only the second week of school. On top of that, we had a full construction crew and the house for a major renovation. The chaos was everywhere, and somehow I was supposed to keep it all together. And just like that, our lives went to hell fast, and so did our home. I know firsthand that when life hits the fan, everything else does too. Gosh, typing all that out was a good reminder of where I've been, the good days and the really tough ones. And it made me realize something important. If I hadn't been organized in my home, those difficult days could have been so much harder. Why this podcast? I've been helping people for 14 years, guiding families to declutter and organize their home. I've worked on countless kitchens, attics, garages, guest bedrooms, playrooms, and storage units. Clients have welcomed me into their little secrets, closed cabinets, scary attics, and everything in between. I've heard stories that will make you cry, laugh out loud, and sometimes stop you in your tracks and reach for a tissue. I've seen the guilt in their indecision, I've seen people carry the weight of guilt that's been passed down from generation to generation. My thoughts on clutter. So many of us live our lives feeling like we need to keep it all. I wish people would understand that this need affects not just your home, but your mind, now, in the future, and even as it comes back to define your past. For me, organizing isn't about perfection or having a picture perfect home. It's about creating breathing room. It's about making space for calmer mornings, easier conversations, and a home that supports the life you're living now, not the one you feel pressured to keep up with. Clutter is emotionally and physically draining, and most people don't realize it until it's gone. Sometimes it takes a stranger walking into your home to give you permission to let something go. People just need that reassurance that everything's going to be okay. By removing items from their homes, their lives, and their emotional space. Back to Noah and Ellie from the Notebook. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want the clutter taking up physical and emotional space in your home? Do you want the guilt of holding on to something just because somebody else said that you need to keep it? Do you want your home to be a source of tension in your relationship with your spouse or your children, or even yourself? What I value. I value knowing that the reason my clients can breathe easier in the homes because together we made a difference in just 1 hour or 1 day. My clients entrust me with their fears, their frustrations, and I'm able to help them see the light. They value my years of experience and trust my judgment on how things should be in their homes. Why clutter is never just about stuff. It's about guilt, overwhelming stress, the thought that someone else will take care of it. Not everyone has the skill to manage it. Clutter is a series of decisions, and we're already overloaded with questions every day. We're doing everything we can just to make it through the day, and the last thing we want to decide is whether we should keep that old insurance card, but we keep it just in case. This podcast is for anyone who feels overwhelmed by the stuff in their life, whether it's physical clutter in the home, mental clutter in your mind, or physical clutter that's weighing you down. It's for those who are ready to stop feeling stuck, stop letting things pile up, and start letting small steps towards clarity and order, the Carrie Kauffman way. On this podcast, I will be sharing and inviting my clients to share their decluttering stories, from their Monica Geller closets to the loss of one parent or both or a spouse, and how decluttering helped them not only clear out their homes, but help them breathe again and enjoy their lives. You're going to hear from experts on how clutter impacts our lives and the people around us. But before I go, I want you to remember and listen to my words. I'm going to say it loud so the people in the back can hear it. Clutter doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you live in a $5 million home or a twin row home. It doesn't matter if you have a degree from Yale or a mom who works inside the home. It doesn't matter what's in your bank account. Clutter happens to everyone. Sometimes people are able to hide it. Sometimes it's out in the open. And it doesn't matter to me. I've seen it all. From Birkins tucked away on the closet floor to the garage that's so full it takes 8 people to clean it out. It's still clutter. That's a wrap for today. If you like what you've heard or it resonates with you, please make sure you subscribe to my podcast. Thank you so much for staying with me. I can't wait to catch up with you next week on Clarity and Order, the Carrie Kauffman way.